Hello and welcome back to part 2 of our interview with Brett Akker. What we're going to do in this part is talk about Brett's new business, which is Lovespace. So Brett, I can see a lot of similarities between Lovespace as a business model and Streetcar, your previous venture. So why don't we talk a bit more about that and the similarities that you see and how you got involved with this new venture?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. There are fairly similar. I think if I describe Lovespace to people, I tend to describe it as what Streetcar did to car rental is what Lovespace is looking to do to traditional self-storage. So with Streetcar versus car rental, the two key benefits were, one, that you could use a car for half an hour or an hour rather than 24 hours. And the other aspect was it was pretty hassle-free. So you could go online, book your car, wander outside, find the nearest car 10 yards down the road, get inside and go and use it straight away rather than traipsing across town to a car rental depot, waiting in line
away the pain
for
points,
ages.
basically.
Yeah, exactly. So we're looking to try and do exactly the same with Lovespace. So again, the two key differences to traditional self-storage is one, we store by the box or by the large item. So at the moment it's $4.95 per box per month rather than the very smallest unit in a traditional self-storage place, which would be around £60-70 a month. So there's that key advantage, and the other key advantage is that we will come to you to pick up your stuff and we'll deliver it back to you at the end as well. So it does take that hassle away of potentially having to rent a van, lugging all your stuff out of town to the nearest self-storage depot.
So again, the similar pain points.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we're looking to try, and we're trying to expand the traditional self-storage market as it currently stands today.
And in terms of getting involved in this particular market sector, that came about because of a connection that you had with one of the angel investors in Streetcar, is that right?
Yeah, so it was. I guess the idea was born by a conversation between myself and Carl August Meln, who was our first angel investor into Streetcar, and he's got fantastic self-storage experience across Europe. So he launched city self-storage in Scandinavia, I think in early 90s, and expanded into various other countries. So he's got experience in Spain, France, etc. So he knows the self-storage market inside out. He obviously got involved with Streetcar as well, and it was really combining the two different sort of aspects to create this business. But it was also around sort of what's happening generally in terms of trends in the UK as to why this might make sense, and exactly the same as why Streetcar made sense at the time, in that more and more people living in cities, cities becoming denser, a lot of flats going up, but with very little space. So storage space and space generally is at a premium, which is why this hopefully will work.
I see. So Brett, has it been easier the second time around? So with Lovespace versus Streetcar, having already been successful with that first business?
I'm not sure it's been easier. There are different challenges with starting any business up. No business, however similar they may appear on the outside, no business is the same. So with this new business, I've certainly made mistakes, and we've certainly made mistakes along the way, as we did with Streetcar. But we were making mistakes with Streetcar up until the very end. It's a learning process from start to finish, and it's the same with this business. So I feel that the business is in really good shape now. We've got a very strong team. The product, the service is exactly what we want. We've got the right partners in terms of third-party suppliers where we may use them. So we're in a very, very good place, I think, with Lovespace, but it's very, very early days. So we've only done a very soft launch so far. So for us, it's about getting the message out there, raising awareness of the concept, and being very specific with the markets that we're looking to target with this product.
In terms of raising awareness of the concept, a lot of what I hear as an angel investor is that people are almost afraid to go out and bring their ideas to market before being in a position to fully grow, because they're scared of copycat competition. Is that something that you've seen? I know there are a couple of copycats that have sprung up since you launched.
Yeah, I think I've got quite an open mind with competition generally at this stage of a business, because we're very, very early stage. The concept is very early stage. So if the concept is going to work, there's going to be massive growth over the coming years. So there's going to be plenty of room for more than one player. So if somebody comes in and they provide a good service and they raise awareness of the concept, then I see that only as helping us. And from our perspective, it's always going to be trying trying to remain the number one in the market from now until, well, for the next few years.
So for you, it's about execution rather than the concept.
Yeah, I mean, it's both. So I think as long as the concept, if other people are raising awareness of the concept, then that's great. And what we will focus on is trying to make sure, as I said, that we will remain number one, but also that we will provide the very best service. So just as we had with Streetcar, customer service is absolutely core to this business, and it's very, very important for us. So we will try and provide the best service that you can possibly get in storage, but also in wider industry, as we try to do with Streetcar.
And where do you see this business going? Are you going to be expanding internationally?
So we're national from day one. So because we can drop off and collect from your door, then it means that we can provide exactly the same service whether you live in Edinburgh or whether you live in London. And
you've got that capability through partnerships, I take it?
Yeah, so through partnerships. So we will provide next day collection, next day delivery anywhere in the UK. So we're national from day one, and the key thing for us is to raise awareness of the concept, target the relevant segment. So that might be students, that's small businesses, that's people moving house, that's people that are just looking to declutter from their current flat or house. Prove that in the UK, and then we've got a very, very strong board with good international experience in the storage arena. So the plan would be to focus on the UK to start with, to prove the concept over here, and then potentially look elsewhere internationally.
So for other budding entrepreneurs, do you think that a big part of maybe the success in the past, but certainly the success that I hope you'll see with Lovespace, is around the network that you built around you, so the advisors, the partnerships that you've made that allow you to launch nationally from day one?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about, for me, a lot of it's around preparation, and you need to prepare for whatever it might be. So you're preparing for the business with your business planning and trying to get as much of that done in a timely fashion, but done well before you actually launch the business. And then preparation for every single meeting you have, all of those sorts of things are so vitally important for when you're looking to grow this business or grow any business. So for me, that's the key.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you all the best with Lovespace. Maybe we can now go on to talk a bit more about the other work that you're doing in the startup community.
Yep.